My name is Jeff Whiteman. I'm one of your announcers tomorrow. Thank you for your attendance and support for the Birmingham Diamond League, even if you're contractually obliged to be here by your employers. We're into our final lap of press conferences. This one has a distinct endurance flavour to it. We've got 20 minutes, so we'll make best use of the time. Three of the greatest distance runners of all time. They are the favourites for the longest flat events that we have tomorrow, the 600 metres, the 1500 metres and the 3000 metres. They're also the reigning world champions on the longest flat events, the 1500 metres, 5k, 10k and 800 metres. So, without further ado, the format's going to be not more than 20 minutes, then the athletes have to go. It is possible that with David and also with Asbel that we can get some one-to-ones if you request them at the end. So we'll start with Mo, and on the day that Muhammad Ali passed, I think you were a fan, weren't you?
Yeah, it's a sad day for, I think, all sports, not just in boxing, for every sport really. He was an icon. If someone, for me, someone I growing up watching him, and he was one of my heroes. And I've watched most of his boxing stuff, and when I saw the news, like last night I heard a little bit just before I was going to bed, and then I woke up and I was like, oh, my heart just sank. But just my respects go to his family, and we have lost a legend.
And looking ahead, you've been a strong supporter of British events this year. We've had Edinburgh, Glasgow, then Wales, and then in Portland, and now back to Birmingham. How would you assess your form on that sort of a build-up? It's included a spring half marathon for the first time. How have things been?
Yeah, training's been going pretty well, to be honest with you. It's getting close to Rio. Everything is just geared up towards Rio, and had to start in January. I did the cross country, was second, and then come back for the wild half, and that was hard. That was really hard. Struggled a bit. That's what I was in terms of my fitness and my ability at that time of the year. And then went away in Arizona, Flagstaff, where I've done a good 6 weeks of block of training. Came back and ran at Pre, where I run season space. It was okay. I was hoping to run a lot faster, to be honest, but it just didn't go as well as I wanted. But it was a good win overall. And now I'm here this weekend to compete on Sunday, so quite excited. Hopefully tick the box and get back into training again, and I'll go up in the Pyrenees 2000. I spent quite a bit of time when I'm in Europe. And from there, just a few races, London University for sure. Just sorting out whether I'm going to do Monaco with this big man here.
1500.
1500. And I might do another race too. So I've got probably about another 3 more races after this.
And tell me if I'm reading too much into this, but at the World Half in Cardiff, you were a little bit under the weather with a cold, and it seemed like the Kenyans ganged up on you with a really, really quick opening pace. And to an extent it worked because you were relegated to bronze. Would you run in Eugene and attempt to show I can take a quick pace, run it as fast as you like, I'm still the man?
Yeah, exactly. I always like to start off my season well, and no one wants to lose. I'm sure Rudisha will tell you, Asbel will tell you, when you win medals and you get to this level, you never want to kind of come down from there. You just want to maintain that, but sometimes it's very hard to maintain. As I say, every champion is hard. It's harder being at the top than being at the bottom. And going back on the half marathon, training gone well in Ethiopia. Came back home and. I'm not making excuses, but wasn't 100% as you do. But I don't go in every race 100%. Sometimes your ability or being controlling a race or going into a race, being confident, you just get through it. And with a long distance, I a little bit struggled for the half. Early on, from probably about 5 miles on, it was a bit of trouble. And then the boys just kept going and going.
And looking ahead, we're a couple of months out from the Olympic Games. We were talking last night, you've been an international athlete now for 15, 16 years, starting off as a junior. Is your appetite and your zest and your ability to hurt yourself in training still as good as it was, or better, or has it always been the same?
It's probably more now. For some reason I'm thinking more like, a little bit older and need to do more stuff or, change little things. But I guess I don't need to change as much. I'm still as hungry, and I want to do the best that I can, and it has not changed one bit. But I seem to be around a little bit fair. And I started off, I think my first international was in 98, So it's quite a long way, but you know, I'm just thankful that I'm injury free and I still got the right mind. And my aim is just continue winning medals, and you know, that's what I'm good at. And the hardest thing is just going back slightly is just probably being now I'm father of 4 kids, being away from my kids, and my kids looking at me in the eye and going, "Dad, you're off again," and that's one of the things that really breaks my heart. Other than that, I'm enjoying it and I love it.
And tomorrow you're running a meeting that you missed last year. What constitutes a good performance for you in front of the Birmingham public tomorrow?
No, I love Birmingham. You know, last year was a great year, but you know, I'm back here this year, and hopefully, you know, the fans last year can give something back to the fans, and I go out there and just enjoy it. You know, that's one thing I want to do, and I'm quite looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. And hopefully, it's going to be a good field, and you know, we've got some good races.
Let's pass the baton on to David Rudisha. I should apologise in advance. We have 3 Arsenal fans on the top table here, and they do appear to have triggered the release clause in the Leicester City striker's contract. David, you're running 600 metres tomorrow. You came within a second of the world record the last time you attempted it here. What should we expect from you tomorrow?
I'm really excited, you know, to run my second 600. First time I did here in Birmingham, and it's one of the rare races that we never do it most frequently, but I must say that I love to run 600 because I'm more like a 400 meter 600, so 400 800, so in the middle there I usually feel more comfortable, and I want to see tomorrow how far I'll go, because in 2013 I was just coming from injury problems, and this year I must say that I've been doing very well. My training has been good, so I want to see how far I can push tomorrow.
And you mentioned 400 metres. Your father was one of the stars of Kenyan 400 metre relay running way back at the Moscow Games in 1980. I think Kenya were Commonwealth champions at 4x400 metres in Edinburgh in 1970. Whereabouts is the 400 metre team at the moment, and do you feature in that? Is it something that would interest you, that relay squad?
Well, you know, we have really good 400 meter guys in Kenya, but we have a lot of challenges because one, we don't have really good and proper coaching, because sprints is more like a technical event where you need to do a lot of technical training, and I think that is where we lack. But you know, it's not like a fixed event, because I'm more concentrating on my individual race, which is 800 meters. And if Kenya will make the 4x4 team, and if they make it to the Olympics, then after my 800, of course, if I feel still strong and ready to go, then I have no worry, because that is one of my events that I also love and my father used to run, and it's fun for me, because I think I can do 45 low, which is good.
Yeah. Looking back to London 2012, Seb Coe went out of his way to praise your performances, notwithstanding Super Saturday and everything that the British athletes achieved, to win an Olympic gold and set a world record in the same race. Do you think you'll ever top that, or you know, is that something that you've moved on from?
Well, I must say 2012 actually, the 800 in Olympic was the best performance. Not only that I broke the world record, but if you see the performance in all the event, everybody running personal best, or 5 guys running under 140, 43, and nearly everybody running under 144, so it was one of the greatest 800 meters ever, and I think it was fair to say that it was the greatest performance. And well, I can say that, you know, since then I've never been that lucky because of the injury, and then coming back, you know, it's amazing how fast your body can forget the training and performance when you just lose a year of being there without doing training. When I started back, it was like I've never been an athlete before, so it's like I'm starting from zero, and it's just been tough. It tells also how we can appreciate our body sometimes, because I was building up, doing some training, so it's almost there like I was starting from the ground. But 2013, 2014, 2015, I was coming and I've been improving from time to time. And this year I'm happy that even the pain is completely gone. This season, the beginning of very good foundation, and I'm looking forward to see how this year will go.
Do you think you're one of the calmest men in world sport? Do you think that it's your temperament that's seen you through that long injury setback, and you were very gracious in defeat to Amos at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow? Has that served you well? You don't get too overexcited when you win, and you don't get too down when things go badly?
Well, I can say, when you have that spirit of sport, my father used to tell me when I was young that you have always to appreciate your sportsmen and the people you compete with on the track, because he told me one thing that if you go today to the track and run by yourself, I don't know if you'll be a winner or a loser, because you have nobody to compete with. So the people you compete with actually are the one who made you, or who make you become a winner, who make you do the best you can and feel that you're better in what you're doing. So without them, you are nothing. So you have to appreciate. And every time I go out there, I know it's an individual effort. And if I'm not there, I appreciate. And they are telling me that you're not better and how I can improve tomorrow. So it's always a spirit of sport that I lose and I know why I'm losing, because I'm not better, or because of this problem, but how can I improve and do better tomorrow? So it's a spirit of sports.
Good attitude.
To be honest with you, I don't want to let anyone down, and what I do is what I do, and I'm very grateful people come out and support you and there for you. It was just in that moment I felt I wasn't myself, and I felt like I just couldn't give what people deserve. So it's no point saying I'm going to give it to them. I'm not giving it to them. So for me it was get on the flight. But that's all gone now. That's last year, we moved on. And this year, 2016, and you know what? Let's talk about 2016.
So Sean, so the last question is my apologies. There was a report in the Oregonian this week, Ken Go, saying that USADA basically quietly dropped their investigation into Alberto. He must be relieved, you must be relieved if that is the case. Can you say a little bit about that? And also, you said last week that you are feeling better than ever. Can you say a little bit more about why you think that is, given that you are early 30s now and
I'm happy, and the most things you could be just enjoy your athletics and be happy and be, that's what I do, and that's what all the years I've been doing, obviously with last year and stuff. You don't want anything coming in the way of it, and as you said in the report, there is some kind of chat or some news has been out saying, everything's been done, there's nothing, and they haven't done nothing, which all along I knew anyway, and that's why I started crying. But talking about my training this year, training's gone pretty well. I'm one of the best shapes of my life. I'm getting on a bit, you gotta know that. Training's gone well in Flagstaff, and to be honest with you, I really wanted to run fast in Eugene and run a lot faster than what I did. But I didn't at the time. I was just it was kind of a little bit weird, and pacemaking was good, but it wasn't good enough to get me all the way. And it was okay. And the most important thing was try and go under 27 minutes, which I did, and win the race, and I won. And I'm quite excited about Rio. I was too far away. Even the fact was like, coach was like, my things are going so well, can't afford to do this. You need to kind of calm down a bit. Calm down. I'm like, okay, let's have like a week, not easy, but a week where you just go and get down a little bit. I'm sure this guy's good at too. Do you ever get a condition where you go, your training's gone well, and you're like, it's gone too well, you'll have a few days easier, or you go, no, training needs to catch up a little bit. It's just a matter of understanding your body, I'm sure.
He's going to need a mic if he's on.
Yeah, you have to have a good feeling of your body. To be honest, sometimes you feel like my body is responding too fast. You just have to hold a little bit so that you don't get to that top until when the moment comes when you need to be there.
We've got 5 minutes left. Time with Michelle.
Aspel, you've quite taken to the Diamond League circuit. So you've done Dover, you've done Eugene, you're running here, and then you're also doing the mile and Otto. I mean, how important is the circuit leading into something like an Olympics, and how do you take those races in your training as well?
Well, I'm actually trying to do exactly what I did last year, trying to minimize races. Doing 4 before the Kenyan trials is not quite much. And, also, it depends on how fast the races I run. And, when you see Doha was in that kind of fast, 3:32, the 1500, and again the mile in the Eugene, expecting to run here a good time tomorrow, then I'm not exhausting that much, and I hope coming to trials will still be around 60% of my pace.
Following on from Sean's question, Mo, we've seen Kim Collins run really well at the age of 40, Bernard the Gap high world class at 40. Do you have any feelings that you still might be racing at this level at that age?
No, mate. No. I'm honest. I've got 2017 definitely going to do. And then after that, we'll see maybe a few road races. But yeah, 2017, I'll probably say will be my last track. Yeah. I love what I do. I enjoy it, but it's just as I'm away so much, it's just one thing really that I miss is my kids and asking me questions. And I'm away 6 months of the year, so I'm only there half of the lifetime really. So I just want to be able to spend more time as I can, and go on to the road. It's just because when you train for championship, everything is just planned, and everything else is like from January till now, everything's planned. So really.
Do you feel like you've got unfinished business in the marathon, especially the London Marathon, having got an English record but not a British record?
Yeah, for sure. I've got to learn about the event. But I was talking to someone about it the other day, thinking, man, it's different pain. It's different pain. I don't know why I'm getting that kind of pain. It's like, well, obviously you haven't done it before. You could do training, but in 1500 meters or 800, when you do 1, 2, 3, you get understanding of it. You get understanding of it. You're like, oh man, I felt good from 400 meters to go. I felt so bad 400 meters to go, or 600 meters to go, and then you do something about it. In a marathon, so I'm trying to get my head around how do you do something about it, because you don't race a marathon every 3 months or 4 months or I don't know. And I think it's one of these things where just when I finish track, just need to run maybe another one, and then try and learn about it and think about what point do you feel tired and why do you feel tired, or I don't know, might not be good at marathon.
Okay, we've got time for 1 or 2 more.
Mo, you mentioned your idolisation of Muhammad Ali. I was just wondering if you could sort of explain what made him an inspiration to you.
Oh man, I don't even know where to start with here all day. Muhammad Ali was a character. He was something. He was just amazing what he did. He made it look easy. Rumble in jungle. The way he thought of life, to what he stood up for, what he believed. It was someone that and it was a jokey, funny, and some of the quotes that I still use, things like that float, don't count the days. Yeah, well, it was just incredible, and for me, it was just growing up and seeing this guy was just, I don't even know how to describe him. I get emotion just, thinking about it now, thinking he's gone. That's that thing. But yeah, I just wanted all my support go to his family and friends. I'm sure it was hard times for him with all his family, but we'll miss him, and I think everybody will miss him. Every sport we've heard and love it.
Thank you. We've time for 1 more, yeah. We'll start with you, so we'll finish.
Given everything that's thrown at him every year, you still fought. You still go to the championship and win. Just talk about your own mental resilience, how you manage to cope with everything that gets thrown at you every year. You still manage to get at peak at the right time, basically.
Yeah.
Is it a struggle to do a lot of track and then produce on the track?
It is a struggle. If you can struggle in training, get everything right in training, and the competition part, these guys will tell you the part is the easy part really, because if you've done all the training, done everything, really all you need to do is just get right on track as safe as possible, and that's what means that some things are not in your control. When you're on track, you get tripped up, something happens, then that's the only thing really. But other than that, the training is done, and for me one of the things, training is more hard than actual competition. I've always said that. The competition part's really the easy part. We've done everything, and you just stick to the plan and hopefully, go with what the coach says. And as you feel good, you might even go before he tells you to go.
Well, we wish you well for tomorrow and to your fellow North Bank supporters here. The weather, as you pointed out, is guaranteed at Costa del Perry Bar. 20-25 degrees, no wind and a full house. So good luck to all three of you. Thank you very much for your
Thank you very much, everyone.